Symphony number 7, Le Midi, or Afternoon, is the middle symphony of the trilogy. And again, Haydn uses open sounding notes, such as the G, and then later, actually open strings for a chord. This is also the trio of the minuet of Symphony number 7 in C major. Although this symphony is in C major, and this trio is in C major, there's a lot of G major going on here too. And the piece starts on a G, which you can use a harmonic, 1, 3, then I do 3-2 here, which is actually my favorite fingering for doing G to F sharp, because it's right there. And when you're practicing, you can always check that F sharp with a D, or even that D, either one. We get to the passage with all of the triplets, and there are two ways of fingering this. One is this way. And the other way is this way. Now, you would think that crossing the string would be the best way to do it. And you'd be right, but when you're playing in tempo, this crossing is kind of difficult to get that D string speaking. So, and it's a little clumsy, but that one, it's easy to pick off the E open D for that. So that's why I prefer this. It has the added benefit of a similar tone because you're staying on the G string. Then you come to this. And here's what not to do. And the way to avoid that is by controlling the amount of bow you use. So these two slurred triplet notes and the separate note take about the same amount of bow, as opposed to now you have to get back to the frog and you have all that bow to use up. So the closer you can stay to the frog and the least amount of bow you can use, the better. And here's a note you can play down or. It's nice to be able to get the same sound whether you're playing up bow or down bow. It gives you a lot more flexibility when you're playing. So if you can't tell which one is a down and which one is an up, you're doing well. The next passage at the repeat sign has a lot of open G's in it. And the first thing I'll say is make sure you have enough rosin on your bow to catch these notes, because every time the beat starts, there's an open G. So you have, and you need to apply a little bit of extra pressure every time the open G appears. So I'm actually doing, it doesn't sound like this, I hope, but because I'm putting pressure into the bow to make sure that the open G speaks. Because you don't want, and you also don't want, but a very even sound. The chord at rehearsal number 6 can be done a lot of different ways. I like just doing this open fifth, but you can also do that or any other kind of G major chord. Again, at the end of this, more triplets. And now, probably one of the highest notes Haydn ever wrote for the bass, a high C. 2 or 3 works well. And then the end.